Welcome to Figure Feedback. My name is Jeremy. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a Kickstarter project for a Resin 3D printer, and the folks behind it are claiming that it is the fastest 13.6-inch LCD Resin 3D printer available, or that will be available within this period of time. Let's take a look at it and dissect it a little bit. So here's the page for the Kickstarter campaign for FinderOne136, the fastest 13.6-inch Resin 3D printer. It claims that it can print 203 millimeters per hour, which is very, very fast by today's standards. All right, so here's some specs on it. It's got a 7K mono screen, 13.6 inches. It has a printing volume of 298 by 165 by 300 millimeters, so that's pretty darn big. And it also has all of this stuff here. Now, I don't know what this means, but 57 closed loop motor, ball screws. And here's the thing here. So there's 11 days to go for this Kickstarter campaign with 184 backers, but they only said that they needed $10,000 in order to make this successful and to get this printer out to folks. And they have so far been able to get $192,972 pledged, well above what they need by multiples of what they were asking for, 10x plus what they were asking for. So I just wanted to just look through this and just kind of see like, that doesn't seem like a lot of money to get something this ambitious off the ground, but let's see what they got here. So this is the promotional video that they have going on here for this Coolsiga FinderOne136 Resin 3D printer, and it's going to go over some of the specs here. So it's got a laser engraved build plate. That's nothing new by today's standards, but it is something that we're seeing more of. Helps with adhesion. And yeah, here's some actors here playing around with 3D programs. They also have their own slicer, as you saw there. It's called Coolsiga, showing off some of the LCD UV capabilities here. Very kind of interesting thing that they have going on. They have a way to sort of protect the internals of the machine from resin spill. So if there's resin that happens to spill on the screen, they do have a way of supporting that, as well as making it easy to kind of go in and just change out parts easily without needing a whole lot of knowledge in how to do that. So let's just kind of skip through a little bit here. So check this out, this control system box. So it's telling you all the stuff that's in it, but what's interesting is how they say it's easy to replace. You know, you're just lifting it up, taking what you need out, putting what you need back in, and then just closing it back down. And then also removing the screen also looks to be pretty easy as well. So let's just see here. So look at this, 203 millimeters per hour going up on this dual rail system. Quad slider, there's no leveling. And of course, this is just marketing stuff. So we're looking at this and we're like, is that really real? You know, can this really be something that you can do? It connects to the internet. It has its own cloud app that gives you real-time monitoring of your print. And here's another thing here. Can we normalize being a little bit safe when it comes to this stuff? You know, really would like Resin 3D printing to really go mainstream to the point where you can see things like this sitting next to televisions and printers, regular printers and tablets and like Best Buy and Walmart. So in order to do that, you got to be realistic about this. These two people just grabbing this build plate with no gloves, no nothing. No, you shouldn't be doing that. So let's not normalize this type of behavior. Let's be safe about it. Okay, I know they're attractive and you want to see their faces, so no respirators, but at least wear some darn gloves. But anyway, that's pretty much the video. As you can see, there's some pretty massive things that you can make in this printer. So let's just go down for a second here and look at some more of this stuff. So we already went through all these specs, most of them. I said that it was leveling free. It has a 2,000 milliliter resin vat capacity. That's pretty darn big. That's 2 bottles of resin in the vat at the same time. I didn't see anything about automatic feeding and retracting of that resin, but it sure does hold a lot of it. And then the screen on the front is a 7-inch touch screen. So that's pretty darn big. There will be no miss pushes, on that screen. And so for something like this, you wonder, how real is it? Is this something that is actually going to be made? Is this a cash grab, take the money and run? Is it a scam or whatever? And I was skeptical about it too. They've put these 3 videos here on this Kickstarter, 4 videos on this Kickstarter page of people who actually have gotten their hands on this printer, at least a prototype version of it, to give their thoughts. And while I haven't looked at every single one of these videos, the one that I did watch, and if you're interested in this, I recommend that you check it out too, was from this person here named Denny's Wang. Let's see if it'll come up again. There you go, Denny's Wang. So he did this in 2 parts, and I looked at this video and it made me feel more confident about just the existence of this printer, because he did a pretty good review as far as showing it actually printing and things coming off the build plate and him scraping it off the build plate. He gave some very valid criticisms about what can be done to make the printer better. He showed the resin, which was like really liquidy, because they do have their own resin and it has the consistency of it looks like water, and I guess that helps with the speed. But I do highly recommend that you check out these 2 videos from Denny's Wayne, because those are the 2 that I watched. The prints that he managed to get out of this looked pretty good, but it definitely was not without his criticism. So that made me feel better about knowing that there's actually a functional system out there in the world, that they chose these people to check it out for them. Now, I understand some people might think, well, why would they choose these individuals that, maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't, as opposed to some of the bigger 3D printing channels on YouTube in order to show this off? I don't know. I'm sure that they have their reasons. And with me being a smaller channel, if someone were to ask me to check out a prototype resin 3D printer, I wouldn't question why they are asking me and not Uncle Jesse. So, hey, more power to him. But yeah, anyway, 7 times speed. And here's just a little short video that they put together. I didn't like how they did this, because we can see the timer there on the left side, but then it just sort of zooms in, and I'm like, you should have just kept it at the same distance so we can watch the timer, because when you have those hard cuts like that, then people start to raise their eyebrows. But if it wasn't for these 2 videos that I seen from, this guy Denny's Wang, I would have been super skeptical about, did it really take that long for you to print something that tall? But yeah, I'm more convinced than not, but there's still something in my head that's going, nah, this seems a little bit too good to be true. So here's a look at some of the pledge levels that you could choose from, or that you could have chosen from. So the earliest that they say that they're going to get these out is as early as January 2024, a handful of months away. And it was for people who pledged $700, which, if everything works out, that is one heck of a deal if everything works the way that it's supposed to work for a printer of this size. And you got a bottle of resin along with that printer to be delivered in January. And then for February 2024, for $100 extra, you could get an extra ACF release film. But since those are unavailable, the next level that you can get that will be the cheapest is for $900, in which you get the printer, you get 3 bottles of resin, which is the Cool Resin Plus, and Thunder Resin, as well as an extra ACF film for the resin vat. And then up from there is $1,000, and then $1,299, and then $1,599, and those are still available. Rewards aren't guaranteed. That's very important for this Kickstarter project and any other Kickstarter project. I'm hoping that this, works out, and that, they find success, and that, most importantly, the people who receive these printers, if they receive them, are very happy with what they got, and they're like, this is some great money well spent, and this is a fantastic company. But when you do back something on Kickstarter, no matter what it is or no matter who's creating it, just know that it's not a store. You're not guaranteed to actually receive anything. Kickstarter says themselves that you are backing an idea to help get this to the next level. There is always a possibility that something with the company will not go right and you won't get anything. There's a chance that you'll just be out $600, $700, $1,200, however much money you decide to pledge towards this. And then if that happens, then your options for recourse and for being made whole again, it's maybe possible, but at the same time, you might not get anything back at all. So just got to be careful with this. But I did want to show you this Kickstarter project and definitely encourage you to watch those sample videos. I'll leave the link to this Kickstarter in the description. It's not sponsored. I don't know these people. They didn't ask me anything about this. I just stumbled upon the news of this printer and I wanted to make a video about it. So if you're interested in it, do your due diligence, roll the dice. But yeah, if it is what it says it is, and being able to print things so fast, it could be a very welcome addition to the resin 3D printing market. And they even have people who are responsible for this front and center, faces, names, all of that stuff. So yeah, that is it for this video for the Coolsiga FinderOne136, the fastest 13.6-inch resin 3D printer. We shall see. So maybe next year, hopefully these things will be out and more people will do reviews on it. And if they manage to do something great, then maybe they'll encourage some of the bigger companies out there to up their game, and then it'll just be better for everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. You want to see more videos, 3D printing related, action figure related, and all that good stuff, be sure to subscribe because I'll always have more coming. And until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll talk to you soon.